अन्धस्य शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नाम्ने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। भूतैर्महद्भिर्यमा पुरो विभु निर्माय शेते यदमुषु पूरुषा निर्माय शेते यतमूषु पूरुषया भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश षोडशात्मका सोलङ्कृशिष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे। श्रीकृष्ण शरणं शरणागतं कथा अमृतं सतत पीबतं भक्ति वेदांत मार्गपन्थनं सर्वलोक ऋषिदेव जन्न प्रसन्नं सर्वलोक ऋषिदेव जन्न प्रसन्नं। Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus and Matajis. So, welcome to the morning Srimad Bhagavatam study sessions. So, yesterday we have concluded the 7th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The chapter was titled "The Son of Drona Punished." And today we begin the prayers by Queen Kuntī and Parīkṣit saved. So, in the previous chapter, just to summarize, we see that there was an indecision regarding what to do with Ashwatthama. Draupadi had intervened, and she most compassionately could not see how Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya, a Brahmana, should be killed. And she gave various reasons. And Bhima, on the opposite side, said, no, he has committed an heinous act, and therefore he should be killed. Ultimately, Krishna concluded that, Arjuna, you have to listen to Draupadi, and at the same time, you have to kill Ashwatthama, as Bhima has suggested. And because Arjuna is an intimate friend of Krishna, so we see here the words mention Hrida. Hrida means in heart, intimately connected with Krishna. How can we intimately be connected with Krishna? Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita tells Arjuna that because you are my devotee and my friend, Bhakta and Sakha, Rahasyam hiretu uttamam. Then rahasya means the secret or the mysteries can be revealed. So Arjuna is intimately related with Krishna. So Arjuna can understand the heart of Krishna. Krishna doesn't have to explicitly state in black and white what has to be done. But because of that intimate connection, the devotee, like Arjuna, knows exactly what the Lord wants. So similarly, when we are intimately connected with Krishna through this process of devotional service, especially through the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, then we also can know the plan of the Lord. This chanting of the Mahamantra is our password to the intimate relationship with the Lord. And Srīmad Bhāgavatam is giving us directions. It is motivating us. It is giving us various examples of how devotees are taking shelter of Krishna. We see that Ashwatthama had released Brahmastra when he saw no way he could be saved. And we see how Arjuna takes shelter of Krishna. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho He says, "O mighty arm Krishna, O Krishna, Bhaktyanam Abhayankaraha." For the devotees, Bhaktyanam Abhayankaraha, you are the source of fearlessness. Tvam eko dhayyamananam. In this material world, we are all dhayyamananam. Dhayyamananam means we are burning. There are various brahmastras thrown every day at us. Sometimes our relatives throw brahmastra, the boss throws brahmastra, the material nature throws brahmastras, and we are continuously in anxiety and burning. However, apavargosi samsmite, Krishna is the only one. When we are mashed up in this samsmrite, in this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease, and miseries from other living entities, miseries from our own mind, and miseries from our body. This is called samsmrite. And Krishna is apavargosi, meaning the very means by which we can go from narga, hellish condition, swarga, heavenly conditions, apavarga. Apavarga means beyond hell and heaven. Even heaven is bad because when piety expires, we fall down into material plane. No one even in heaven is happy, even though they are experiencing pleasures. But those pleasures are not giving them happiness because ultimately we are living souls and soul is connected with Krishna. Only Krishna consciousness can give us happiness. And Krishna is the source of apavargya. Apavargya means that is beyond the hell and heaven, where we find our home. Panthastva sharanam yatha. No matter where we go, at the end of the day, only when we come back to our home, we feel satisfied. So our eternal home is Krishna's planet. So we see, let's review a bit. So far, up to 6th chapter, we see the inspiration of Srīmad Bhāgavatam on how Vyasadeva was inspired to write Srīmad Bhāgavatam and glorify Krishna exclusively, ananya, and intensively, tivrena bhakti yogena. And only by glorification of Krishna in these two ways, actually, the soul will be yayatma suprasiddhati, fully satisfied. Nothing in this world will give satisfaction. So simply by understanding this fact that only Krishna consciousness will give us satisfaction, we can have the courage to face various tribulations of life. And in these chapters, we see tribulations after tribulations happening to Pandavas. I mean, have our children been killed in the way Draupadi's sons have been killed? Have we been in a fratricidal war where all our relatives are killed? Have we encountered such miseries as Pandavas have been? Draupadi was tried to be disrobed. Pandavas will try to be killed and burnt in fire. Their kingdom was stolen. So Krishna's own devotees are going through so much difficulties we see here in these episodes. But yet they are very fixed and intimately connected with Krishna, and Krishna becomes the source of their nourishment and sustenance. What does this show? This shows that no matter what the external circumstances may be, in our lives also, various tribulations will come, will go. However, one thing we learn from these episodes, especially in this chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, that because Vipra Dharma Chutashrayaha, if we take shelter of these three things, Vipra, the Brahmanas who are guiding us, the devotees who are guiding us, Dharma, the principles of religion that is mentioned in the scriptures, and Achyuta, the infallible Lord. Ashrayaha. Ashraya means shelter. If we take shelter of the devotees of the Lord, the Brahmanas, if we take shelter of Dharma as stated in Srīmad Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and if you take shelter of Achyuta, the infallible Lord. Why this name Achyuta is mentioned? Because he will never fail to protect his devotees. Ashrayaha, then no matter what the situation or circumstances may be, Prabhus and Matajis, we will always be protected. And this is the founding principle of Srīmad Bhagavad Gita. As soon as the philosophy is complete, up to the 6th chapter, at least for the first canto, we see the philosophy that devotional service is the highest principle. Bhakti Yoga is the highest principle. Sri Krishna is the supreme worshipful. And Srīmad Bhāgavatam is the king of all scriptures. These philosophical points are basically established and stated. Srīmad Bhāgavatam is Granthraj, Krishna is the Granth Murti, and Bhakti Yoga is the Raja Vidya, the process, the king of all knowledge, the process of Bhakti Yoga. And after that, what we see, how Krishna is protecting. This is the principles of Sharanagati. Avashya Krishna Visvasa Palana. Having this faith that Krishna will surely maintain me. He'll look after. And Rakshibe, he will surely protect me. So these 2 points, maintenance and protection, Krishna exclusively does. And he has saved the Pandavas from the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. And now he's administering justice through Arjuna. And in this chapter, now we will see how Parīkṣit Maharaj is further saved and how Kuntī Maharani then offers praise to Krishna. Let's begin. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Sutavacha atha te samperitanam swanam udakam ichhatam datum sakrishna gangaya Pururaskritya Yuyustriya. Translation. Sudha Goswami said, thereafter the Pandavas, desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who had desired it, went to the Ganges with Draupadi. The ladies walked in front. Would anyone like to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I think. To date, it is the custom in Hindu society to go to the Ganges or any other sacred river to take bath when death occurs in the family. Each of the family members pour out a pot full of Ganges water for the departed soul and walks in a procession with the ladies in the front. The Pandavas also followed the rules more than 5,000 years ago. Lord Krishna, being a cousin of the Pandavas, was also amongst the family members. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So today is a very auspicious day. It's Ekadashi, the day of Lord Hari. On this day, we fast from grains and we try to devote, as much time as possible to reading Srīmad Bhāgavatam and chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So in Mahabharata, actually Krishna says this to Duryodhana, that Shuddham Bhagavata Tasyanam Shuddham Bhagirathi Jalam Shuddham Vishnu Padadhyanam Shuddham Ekadasi Vratam. That there are 4 things that purify. Shuddham Bhagavata Tasyanam, that the food that the devotees honor, and that food when we take, we are purified. That is called Mahaprasadam. So the glories of Mahaprasadam cannot be understated. Especially in Jagannath Puri, it is said, the glory of Lord Jagannath's Mahaprasadam is magnificent. When we take Mahaprasadam, we get purified. And then second thing which purifies, Shuddham Bhagirathi Jalam. Bhagirathi means Ganges, because King Bhagirath, through his austerity and prayers, prayed for Mother Ganges to come upon this earth. So Bhagirathi Jalam purifies Shuddham. Why does it purify? Because the Ganges touches the lotus feet of the Lord. It touches the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Ganges is potent because the dust of lotus feet of the Lord is contained in Mother Ganges. I remember when I first went to India when I was, I think, 25, 26 years of age. And I went to Rishikesha. And at that time, I had very severe cold and flu. And I was really suffering. And first time I had gone to India, and first time I had darshan of Mother Ganges in Rishikesha. And those who have been there, and this was during December time, it's very, very cold. And I was thinking whether to go in the Ganges, have a bath or not. And then I thought, this is the first time I've come to India. And at that time, I did not know whether I'll come to India again or not. So, leaving my bodily condition aside, with faith, I took a leap and I went into the Ganges. Of course, as the Methodist, first did the Achman and then submerged myself, dipped myself fully under the water. And in that way, I prayed and had 3 dips, came out of it and went in again 3 times. And after that, I stayed in there for a while. But immediately after I came out of it, my flu was gone, my cold was gone. This is the effect of Mother Ganges. Why this effect is there? Because the dust on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna in form of Lord Vaman there is contained in Mother Ganges. And that dust is very potent. It gets rid of not only our bodily distress, it also spiritualizes us. It washes away our sins. So the custom is that when someone dies, that the relatives go to the Ganges, and on behalf of the relatives, the water is offered to them so that they can be purified. And also, Srīmad Bhāgavad Katha is read, Bhagavad Gita is read. Shuddham Vishnu Padadhyanam. The meditation on the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu is purified. And this Ekadashi Vrata is also very purifying. So what better day? We are glorifying Mother Ganges, we are glorifying Srīmad Bhāgavatam, we are glorifying the lotus feet, the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, and we are glorifying this auspicious day of Ekadasi. Word to word. Suta Uvacha. Suta said, Atha, thus they, the Pandavas, Samparetanam, of the dead, Swanam, of the relatives, Udakam, water, Ichatam, willing to have, Datum, to deliver, Sakrishnaha, along with Draupadi. So here the na is long. Therefore, it relates to Draupadi. Sa Krishna. And when we mention Krishna, it's Krishna and Krishna. There's a difference between the Lord Krishna and the devotees who are addressed as Krishna. Gangayam, on the Ganges, Puraskritya, putting in the front, Yayu, went, Striyaha, the woman. So Prabhupada mentions in the purport that the women were in front. So in these occasions, like performing funeral rites, wedding ceremonies, welcoming guests, it is customary to have a woman in front. I think more detailed explanation of why this is the case is given in later chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we'll look at that point in time. Text number 2. Te niniyodakam sarve vilapya cha brisham punaha apluta haripadambaja raja puta sirajjale. Translation: having lamented over them and sufficiently offered Ganges water, they bathed in the Ganges, whose water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Word to word, they, all of them, Niniya, having offered, Udakam, water, Sarve, every one of them, Vilapya, having lamented, Cha, and Brisham, sufficiently, Punaha, again, Aplutaha, took path, Haripadam, Cha, the lotus feet of Lord. Rajaha, dust, Puta, purified, Sarita, of the Ganges, Jale, in the water. So such a beautiful description is given Hari Padabja. I know one devotee, his name, his Guru Maharaj gave Hari Padabja Dasa, the lotus feet of Lord Hari. And Rajaha, the dust contained in the lotus feet of Hari, is very purifying, because Mother Ganges touched the dust, Hari Padabja Rajaha, the lotus feet, the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Hari. She became potent to purify all the living entities who take her shelter. Any questions or comments, Prabhu Samatajis? Okay, we'll continue. Verse number 3. Tatrasinam kurupatim dhritarashtram sahanujam gandharim putra shokartam pritham krishnam cha madhavaha. Translation: there sat the king of the Kurus, Maharaj Yudhishthira, along with his younger brothers and Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kuntī, and Draupadi, all overwhelmed with grief. Lord Krishna was also there. Would anyone like to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, I'll read.
Yes, please go ahead.
The battle of Kurukshetra was fought between family members, and thus all affected persons were also family members, like Maharaja Yudhishthir and brothers Kuntī, Draupadi, Subhadra, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari and her daughters-in-law, etc. All the principal dead bodies were in some way or other related with each other, and therefore the family grief was combined. Lord Krishna was also one of them as a cousin of the Pandavas and nephew of Kuntī, as well as brother of Subhadra, etc. The Lord therefore was equally sympathetic toward all of them, and therefore he began to pacify them befittingly. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So the word to word, Tatra, there, Asinam, sitting, Kurupatim, the king of the Kurus, Dhritarashtra, Saha Anujam, with his younger brothers, Gandhari, Putra, son, Shoka Aram, overtaken by bereavement. Pritham, Kuntī, Krishnam, Draupadi, Cha, also Madhavaha, Lord Shri Krishna. So the significant words here are Shoka Artam, overtaken by bereavement or grief. So when someone dies in the family, we are overtaken by grief. And this is normal. Shoka or calm. This is a process of bereavement that naturally, when our loved ones pass away, family members or friends, especially family members, then we are struck with grief. And in that grief-stricken condition, philosophy makes no sense. However, there is a process and a time for the philosophy as well. It is said that one has to go through the grief. This is the process. It is important to grieve. It is important to cry. It is important to release one's heart's feelings. And it is done through tears. It is done through crying out loud. Srila Prabhupada, in one of the papers of Srīmad Bhāgavatam, says, when the spiritual master leaves, the disciple should cry out loud and grieve the disappearance of the spiritual master. I remember, when my mother passed away in an untimely way, then the grief that I experienced knew no bounds as far as I was concerned, because I was away from my mother from the age of 14, and after the university finished, then we thought that that's the time now we'll always live with her. But when that time came, she passed away in an untimely manner. And no amount of philosophy at that time was able to touch and penetrate my heart. I was totally devastated. And that cannot be comparable to what the Pandavas are experiencing here, because, especially Draupadi, because Draupadi's sons, all 5 of them, in a sleeping condition, they were beheaded. Similarly, at the moment around the world, we see so much grief. There are so many wars going on where innocent children are just killed. And it seems that no matter, what the politicians or the world leaders are trying to do, they cannot stop these kinds of wars going on. So we are surrounded by this condition of shoka, lamentation, grief, bereavement. Artham means we are suffering due to this. What is the solution? The solution we will see coming in later verses. Would anyone like to recite? Oh, sorry, I just became aware of time. It's 1 minute left. So any questions or comments, Prabhu Mataji's? So the important point in these chapters that we are doing at the moment is to understand how Pandavas are taking shelter of Krishna and how they are, in taking shelter of Krishna, they remain protected. So if one message that we can take home is that no matter what our condition may be, how harsh our situation may be, is simply we take shelter of Krishna through the devotees and through the scriptures like Srīmad Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita, then we will always be protected. Our consciousness will always be protected. That is the main protection, that we remain Krishna conscious. Actually, it is said the remembrance of Krishna is the greatest wealth. The forgetfulness of Krishna is a position of poverty. Sampada nayyeva sampada. What we regard as wealth is actually not wealth. Vipada nayyeva vipado. What we regard as calamity or bad things is not bad. Then what is sampada, wealth, and what is vipada, calamity? Sampada, vipada, vipada Vishnu Vismaranam. When Vismaranam, forgetfulness of Vishnu happens, then that situation is vipada. And sampada Narayana Smritihe. And when we are always able to remember Krishna, that is the greatest wealth, Narayana Smritihe. And in a nutshell, from these situations we learn that no matter what, in happiness and in distress, the Pandavas are always remembering Krishna and taking shelter of Krishna. And this is what we have to imbibe in our consciousness, that always be with Krishna, always be under the shelter of Krishna, especially through Srīmad Bhāgavatam, and in association with devotees who are always glorifying Krishna. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Have a wonderful Ekadashi day. Granthra Srīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhu Srimati ji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.